So doing this business, you find that a lot of things tend to go wrong. It's definitely not easy. So make sure you stick around till the very end of the video, because I'm going to be revealing everything that goes wrong to your everyday car cleaner. And if you're starting a brand new business, you're going to want to see this. One of the biggest problems you're going to face as being a mobile car valeter is the fact that the weather is so unpredictable. 2 days ago we had the hottest day of the year so far. Now look at it, it's raining, it's unbelievable. And you've always got to make sure that you've got plenty of gaps for the following week. And I want to give you a perfect example. So let's just say we've got a fully booked week next week. Well, what happens? Say you've got loads of good weather, you get to Wednesday, and then you hit rain, you hit heavy forecast where it's going to be absolutely diabolical and you have to write them off. You then have to reschedule everybody else. So by booking yourself up so much in advance, what you're going to then do is have a lot of angry customers because you're not going to be able to fit them in. And I know what you're thinking, oh, it's all well and good, I'll get someone else to come out, but every other car valeter who's in the same sort of situation as you is going to have the same problem. So it's not as easy as just picking up the phone and getting one of your mates to come out, because at the end of the day, you want to keep your customers happy. So the rain is one of the biggest problems you may face when car cleaning. So it's good to have a canopy, but bear in mind, not every client wants to have their car cleaned on a wet day, because ultimately they want to keep their car cleaner for longer. So try not to presume just because you got a canopy that it's going to guarantee you an income. And for me, when we get heavy rainy days, I tend to call it a day because I think more about my health, both physically and mentally, because the rain can make you feel down, and when you get so wet to the point you're soaked through, it definitely raises those stress levels. But then again, while you do get wet, at least you have plenty of towels. I'll tell you what, these towels are amazing. They're not just great for drying cars, they're great for drying hair and everything else. I'm soaking wet. This is like, at what point does this become insane? Let's carry on. Okay, so cleaning cars in the rain isn't everybody's cup of tea, but what about the summer months? What about those months we get those really long, hot, sunny days and you get those lovely evenings like we got here today? Well, let me give you a couple of home truths. Now, we all have the best intentions of doing 7 AM till 10 PM because we want to go out and earn a little bit of extra money, but the fact of the matter is simple. You can't, because what happens is when you've got warmer temperatures like that, your body is burning so many more calories, and although you think you might be able to cope with it, after a full day of doing it, it's going to completely exhaust you. And here's another example that I want to give you. For every long day that you do, for every 7 AM till 10 PM day that you're going to do, it's going to cost you 2 days in recovery time. So not only is it bad for your health, it's bad for your business. And speaking of summer, perhaps it's time to talk about convertibles, and more importantly, classic convertibles. Yes, classic cars have a certain charm about them, but getting the roof up and down is one of the most time-consuming and challenging tasks you'll ever have to face in your life if you've never done it before. So make sure you discuss the entire process with the customer first. Unlike this moron. It's not happening. It is not, nothing's working today. What the heck? 120 grand this costs. Come on. It's not difficult, it's just putting a roof on. It's not... So running out of chemicals is one of the most common things that you're going to experience as a car cleaner, and it still happens to myself every single day. And there's two products that you really do run out of very quickly, and that's shampoo and wheel cleaner. So I always make sure that I've got plenty of 5-litre containers to hand for whatever products I'm going to be using in the van. I try to say keep away from using the 25 litres unless you're running a hand car wash, of course, because I just don't think you're going to need to get through that amount of chemical per day. It's just not practical, and especially when you're carrying all that weight around in your van, it's going to cost a lot on fuel too. So keep yourself a main 5-litre container, and also keep a couple of 500ml bottles as well, just as backup, so you know as soon as you get to those bottles, you're going to need to top up again. Not only do you always run out of wheel cleaner quickly, you often accidentally get a gobful of it too. And I remember last year I was filming a video and the wind blew wheel acid in my mouth, which had a taste of what I can only describe as fried eggs and Haribo Tang Fastics, if you dropped them in nuclear waste, of course. And you also need to be careful that you don't get it in your eyes, because trust me, this one stings. I genuinely cannot even get it up. And that's something I thought I'd never say in my lifetime. Come on, just get on, you bitch. I can't do it. It's not going. It's not going. So how many of you can sit there right now and say that you've never ever made a mistake when it comes to detailing? Now, I certainly know I can admit that because I did. When I first started out, I was working in trade garages and I was getting a bit carried away with the machine polisher. And yes, I'm sure there's been countless times where I've actually done more harm than good, but it's all part of the learning process. You have to start somewhere when you're doing this business. You can't just pick up a machine polisher and expect to be the best in the world. You have to learn from your mistakes as you go along. So you may go on Instagram and social media and see loads of detailers who brag about their success sitting in supercars, meeting up with celebrities, and you may look at it and go, God, I bet they've never made a mistake. But the truth of the matter is this: they've probably made a million more mistakes than you're ever going to make throughout your detailing career. Yes, they've been there and done that, but they've learned from their mistakes. That's how they've become successful and good at what they do. They've had to make those errors along the way. Nobody will ever just pick up a machine polisher and say, right, I'm the best at machine polishing. You have to learn, and it takes hours and hours of working on your craft to get it right. So I'm sure you're going to come across posts on detailing groups and you're going to get some smart ass going, can you really call yourself a detailer if you make a mistake? Yes, you can, because you are a human being. Everybody makes mistakes as they go along. It's all part of the growing and the learning process. So you can tell those people to go away, because I know some really top-end detailers who have had some horror stories. I'm not going to tell them because it's not fair, but honestly, you are not alone. If you're someone who's caused those scratches or done something wrong, just open up to the client about it. Say what's happened, explain to them the situation. And if they get funny about it, you can say, look, I'm covered by insurance, let's rectify this and let's sort it out properly. But one of the things you really shouldn't do is drop your prices to a ridiculous point. If you spend, let's just say you spend about 7 hours doing a car, you're detailing a car, you do it all perfect for those 7 hours, and on that 7th hour, you make one tiny error and you cause a little bit of a scratch that you can't repair. At no point should you ever say to a client, you can have this for free. If they say they want it for free, they're not your client, trust me, because you have an insurance policy in place. If they want to get a discount, you don't go for insurance. Simple as that. You have to still get what you're worth. And yes, you can make a little bit of a mistake, but like I said, you can rectify that. And that's the most important thing. Stop going. It's... Come on, please. Okay, so this is something I get asked quite a lot, and it's all about when a client doesn't show up. So you say you're going to get there at 12 o'clock. Unfortunately, you might get there 5 or 10 minutes late, and then there's no one to be seen. They've completely gone and left you. What do you do then? Do you stay there and wait for another hour or so till they get back if they say they're going to be there at 1 o'clock? Or do you go off and find other jobs? Now, this is where people get unstuck because they don't have the right clients. For me, I only target clients who have got at least 2 or 3 cars minimum. And that's no joke. They have to have that number of cars minimum so they can qualify as a client. Now, I only target a few areas in Surrey and West Sussex. So I don't go very vast, because what you find is you're going to be driving left, right and centre. And it's not easy to keep control of the people and the areas that you're working on. So for me, if I was to get a cancellation or someone no-show, all I'd have to do is pick the phone up, say to another client, can I come round and clean your car? I've got a loose end. The odds are they're going to say yes. If you go for someone who's got just 1 car, the likelihood of them being in is going to be slim to none. And the good thing about having these clients who have got at least 2 or 3 cars, the majority of them are loaded. They're VIPs. They're going to have their own cleaners or housekeepers or whatever you want to call it. They're going to have someone at home. And the majority of them, once you build a proper relationship, they even give you the keys and they give you the gate codes, or even they hide the keys. There's always going to be some other way that you can turn up. And this is how I've managed to sustain a really good business just from being a one-man band. Because I know that if I get any bad weather or anything like that, there's always another location I could potentially go to that's going to keep me dry, going to keep me warm, and it's going to keep me earning a lot of money. So that's all you got to do. You've got to focus on the right clients. Okay, one more attempt. We're going to get this right. We're going to do it properly now. Oh, come on. This is something that's going to happen to you if you go down the route of buying cheap and cheerful backing plates from the other side of the world. Now, it may seem very tempting because they are cheap and cheerful, but at the end of the day, they don't last 5 minutes. So make sure you've got plenty of spare ones to hand. So anyway, we have a brand new series coming right around the corner. I did drop a little teaser on YouTube a couple of weeks ago saying it was coming next week. I didn't lie, I just didn't predict it was going to take that long to get the second video out. But it's going to be a great one. It's all about engine bay cleaning. And I'm going to show you an alternative method which a lot of you might look at and go, what the heck is he doing? But believe me, it's going to be a good one. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And stay tuned because we've got so many more videos right around the corner. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. That's on.